Hey folks, my name is Pravus, and welcome to more Plague Inc. Evolved as we finish out our new and improved series of Mega Brutal Guides, at least until they introduce a new disease type, which will hopefully be soon. Now for our finale, we have the Shadow Plague, the scenario that quite literally made me famous on YouTube. I wasn't going for that, but I'm going to take what I can get. This is supposed to be a very difficult vampire plague, at least on paper. You have to feed your vampire, fight off the Templar trying to kill you, and spread a disease that will convert all of the feeble humans into shadow slaves that will worship you as the new Prince of Darkness. Difficult in theory, but in practice, on the day this released on PC, I figured out a new strategy that would divide and conquer and make it so you can easily beat this on Mega Brutal and even get 5 stars with practically no effort whatsoever. It's kind of insane. It got me tens of millions of views on YouTube and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and ever since then I have been called the Plague Inc. guy. Again, not what I was going for, but I have certainly enjoyed the ride. We're going to be going for Harvester for our genetic code here. This gets me extra DNA and speeds up the run. Budget Bat, since you will be flying around quite a lot. Terracite and Extremophile, because it really doesn't matter what you go for here. And Witch Doctor is okay. You could also go for Frugal Researcher. For some reason it says I haven't unlocked Mad Scientist. That's not true. I absolutely have. It's just that for some reason my progress keeps resetting. It's a weird bug, but it's fine. It doesn't matter that much to me. Any of these will do fine. In fact, the strategy I'm going to show you will work fine without any genes at all. But Harvester and Budget Bat are the two that will have the greatest impact. Let's go ahead and play on Mega Brutal, call it Nox Eternus, and get ready. I'm going to recreate a strategy that ultimately made me who I am. In fact, for a lot of you people, statistically, this is going to be a scenario you've already seen, but hopefully you'll just bear with me anyway. We have to finish it out, otherwise it's not a complete guide series, right? For our Vampires tab over here, which replaces abilities, we're going to go for Blood Rage and Adrenal Surge. This unlocks a new ability, so we can start devouring the population of Greenland. Why Greenland? Because I hate backtracking more than anything else. So we're just going to eat the entire population of Greenland so I never have to think about them again. Which may be a little bit mean, but it works. Now we're going to go for Dark Infiltration, which makes this Blood Rage even more effective. We're generating a bit of DNA. We are also attracting attention because it turns out if you eat a few thousand people in a couple of weeks, people are going to notice. But until they actually track me to this location, it doesn't really matter all that much. So we're just going to ignore them. I will pick up Therianthropy over here. This unlocks Bat Travel, which we will need once we finish up in Greenland. There we can go. We can see that we have been tracked here. Pretty soon there will be a follow-up event where an angry mob tries to burn me and I'll take damage, but I don't really care. Now, when there's no humans left in Greenland, my vampire will start complaining that he's starving to death. So let's go ahead and move him somewhere else. In this case, we'll move over to Iceland and start devouring that population as well. My next goal here is to go for Shadow Blades, which is going to cost me 28 DNA in just a moment. Come on, give me that DNA. Why are you going so slow? There we go. Thank you. Ramp that up, and then finally we're going to go for Demonic Fury, maximum level 41 DNA. At some point here pretty soon, there we go, Templar Industries is going to reveal themselves, a special contracting force that exists exclusively to fight the vampire. So they're going to set up a bunch of fortresses in just a moment. Looks like they are in Spain, Saudi Arabia, we have Zimbabwe, Norway, Russia, and all the way down here in New Zealand. They always set up 6 bases, though once in a while I have seen only 5. That seems to be a rare chance where the same country got rolled twice. I'm not really worried about it. Now, they're going to reinforce each other and try to become a fortress, kind of like the ZCOM from the Necroa virus, and we want to destroy these guys as quickly as we can. So we're going to go ahead and pick up that Demonic Fury. I'm going to sit here for just a little bit longer, generate a little more DNA, because there's a little more I want to do, and then we're going to take the fight directly to them. So let's go ahead and pick up the Lairs, which is something I can do to place down a camp and generate more DNA. It's kind of like the Simian Flu in that way. I also want to go for Shadow Portals, which means I can quickly teleport to any of my bases in no time flat. That's going to be great. Vigilantes are fighting me in Iceland. We're going to go ahead and move and go to, I guess, Germany. That'll be fine if I can just find a way to reach there. Okay. So I don't really want to fight over Iceland. Like, they can't really do much to me, but, like, why fight them? It doesn't matter. I'm going to place down a quick lair, which gets me some of that extra DNA. Now, the Templar will send drones to try and destroy it, just like the Simian Flu, so be aware of that. We have to fight them back. I will also pick up a level of Dark Ritual. This means that we can heal whenever we are feeding from people, because your vampire does have a health bar. So do be aware of that. Let's go ahead and move up to Norway up over here. I'm going to go ahead and fight some of these Templar. We will attack them. And in just a moment, we will see that we have destroyed them. They are going to flee and send every plane they can to remaining bases and fortify them to make them even stronger. Then we can teleport over here to Russia. We'll take the fight to them as well. Keep an eye on that health bar. If your health bar goes down too much, you're in trouble. So go ahead and just sit back and start devouring a population for a little bit, get your health back up, and then you can move on to the next place. Going for another level of Dark Ritual wouldn't be a bad idea, because I like the idea of healing up even faster. The Templar are about to send a drone over here. I'm going to go ahead and just start devouring the population of Germany. When the drone arrives, we will immediately shoot it down. There it goes. Say goodbye. So let's move on somewhere else. Now, it's going to take me a little while to travel somewhere. I want to go to New Zealand real quick just to get rid of it. So we're going to go ahead and fly all the way down over here toward India. We could actually pick up travel speed level 2, and that will speed things up a little bit as well. But it does mean that now I need to sit back and just devour for a little bit and get some more DNA. Otherwise, we are going to get stuck, and nobody wants to do that. Ultimately, I want to go over here towards Southeast Asia, and we'll set down another lair, because it's a good central location, and it's going to start generating a bit of extra DNA for me. Now I need to get over here toward New Zealand. They're about to reinforce a little bit more, which makes this tougher. New Zealand's like one of the worst places that you can have them spawn, but it's going to happen once in a while. Like, what can you do? Now, what I need to do is attack, but I want to keep an eye on my health bar, because it's going to start draining away a little bit faster. If we can't destroy the base here in New Zealand, which we did, then we're going to have to pull back, go somewhere else, and heal. So I'm going to go ahead and teleport back up here to Germany real quick and start devouring the population. Eat their schnitzel, eat their sauerkraut. It's going to be fine. What are you going to do? Stop me? Absolutely not. Let's go for travel speed level 2 over here so we go even faster. I just like that idea. And then we can travel over to, I guess, here to Spain. That's fine. Attack. Keep an eye on that health bar. If it gets down too low, we will pull back. Looks like we're going to destroy it without much of an issue. Cool. Let's heal ourselves back up by attacking in Spain. Then move over to Saudi Arabia. And we're going to attack them next. Do the exact same thing. This is literally the hardest part of the scenario, because by the time you get to these last two bases, you just need to be paying attention to your health bar and be prepared to back off somewhere else. We can just go ahead and eat the people here in Syria for a minute. We regenerate our health bar a lot faster than they do, so it's really not going to be an issue. Now, I do need to attack here in Southeast Asia because they were trying to destroy my base, and I'm not going to let them do that. Get back over here, attack them again before they can regenerate their health too much. Saudi Arabia goes down. Let's go ahead and regenerate our health and then move elsewhere. I'm going to go to Central Africa and place down another quick lair like so, and then we're going to move over here. Technically, with Witch Doctor, we heal faster in a lair. It doesn't make a lot of difference, but having a lair close to the final base is kind of nice. So let's just go ahead and pull back real quick. We'll just devour. We're going to heal up real quick. No big deal. Then get back down here. The last base is the hardest one. You just have to keep microing back and forth, back and forth. Just don't die, which I'm getting a little bit close, I'm aware, but just keep doing it back and forth until eventually you win. Once the Templar are officially destroyed, this scenario becomes absolutely trivial, and you can sit back and do literally nothing, and you will win the game. Like, it's really ridiculous how easy this is, and it does make me feel kind of smart with how I figured this scenario out before anyone else did. Like, it's kind of cool. I'm happy with that. Or maybe someone else did, but I never saw another video on it. So I'd like to say that that is my genius coming out and not somebody else's, but we will see. All right, this might be the last round. Take them down. Done. All right, so the Templar forces have been eradicated. Now we sit back, pick literally any country in the world, and just snack. That's all we're going to do, because there's literally no threat left from here. We just want to generate lots of DNA. I am actually going to go over here and just move to like Central Africa and set down one last layer. So we have a nice round of layers across the world, and I can easily just teleport around where I need to, but it doesn't really matter too much. Let's just go ahead and sit back and eat. And all I need to do now is generate DNA. Lots of DNA. There's no rush until you pick up something under symptoms. The Shadow Blessing, there is no disease. If there's no disease, there is no attempt to cure it. So all we have to do is just sit back here and generate as much DNA as we can. I'm going for roughly 600 or more. That's all you care about. So let me jump forward a little bit. It's kind of boring and unsportsmanlike, isn't it? I mean, really, once we got rid of that one threat, I'm just sitting here and doing absolutely nothing, but whatever. Now that we have about 600 DNA, this is when we can move on to the next phase of the game. So now we want to start spreading our disease and enslave the world. This begins with Shadow Blessing. So now that the disease is officially turned on, cure progress can begin. I'm going to go for Nocturnal up over here. We're going to go for Steroidal Boost, Pheromone Secretion, Photophobia, Hyperdontia, Jugular Bite, and then Shadow Slaves. So kind of like with the Nurax Worm, now as long as we infect the world, we are going to win. I'll also go ahead and pick up the Muscular Hypertrophy and the Masticatory Tension, giving me a pretty hefty amount of our infectivity, and we'll go for Blood Sacrifice level 1 and 2, which gets me extra DNA from our lairs. And then finally, we could go for a second vampire, very optional, but sure, why not? We've got plenty of DNA, we might as well do it. Now that becomes especially useful because we're going to pop back over here to our vampires. We're going to go for a couple levels of resistances, so we want to have cold, drug, and heat tolerance. And then I want to go for blood gift, Dark Cloud, Shadow Trail, and Corrupted Air. What this means is that by simply being present in a country, we will start infecting millions of people per day. So all I technically have to do is go to every country in the world for a split second, and we will infect everyone in no time flat. As far as transmissions, we can speed this up a little bit further. I'll go for air level 1 and 2, water level 1 and 2. We'll go for some extreme bioaerosol, droplets, fomites, zoonotic shift, 3 levels of bats, 2 levels of wolves, and 2 levels of dogs, which is going to boost up mutation, which I don't really care about. But now we're going to have very good land transmission, very good rural transmission, and very good urban transmission. Basically, we have covered every one of our bases, and I only have 17 DNA left. That's why I go for 600. It's all you need to pick up everything you need to very easily win this scenario. From here on out, all we're going to do is just literally fly places in the world and just sort of sit there for a second and infect a few million people. And the result is our disease is going to spread like absolutely mad. We are welcome to teleport around. I'm going to make sure that I hit up every island as well, because obviously you don't want to forget any of those. I don't need to be there for long, just for a second is completely fine, and then move on elsewhere. So now we've reached that phase of just lots of micromanagement. Is that as fun? Nah, probably not, but I mean, it sure as heck is effective. You cannot deny this does work. So we're going to start generating tons and tons of DNA. Now, at some point, they are going to start working on some cure systems, and this is going to be a little bit like the simian flu, in that once there is a lab, you have to destroy it, or else people are going to cure you very, very quickly. That shouldn't be an issue, though, because as long as we have lairs strategically located in a number of different places, we can teleport and reach them very, very quickly. So let's take a quick look at the world. We're missing mostly Africa and Scandinavia. No big deal. We'll just teleport over here to... Actually, hold on. We need to go to Madagascar. They set up the first lab. I was going to say we can go to Scandinavia real quick, but let's go over here, teleport, move like this, pick this up. We do have another one of these vampires, so I'm going to let my secondary vampire just run around and destroy things. Let's go ahead and destroy that lab. That's been destroyed. There is another one up here in France because the French are getting uppity. What a shocker! And we'll just go ahead and deal with them, take them out, and boom. The disease is spreading incredibly rapidly. We are only missing Spain and Morocco as far as countries that have not been infected. That has now been solved. Now it's a matter of just infecting as fast as possible. So I'm going to look for countries that have not been fully infected and just move the vampire over that away. Teleport as needed in order to make it go a little bit faster. That's it. We've totally won. We've got 300 more DNA. I don't even need it. Let's go for dark pustules, hypersensitivity, malignant pigmentation, and latent adaptation, reducing cure progress. But again, who cares? It does not matter. We can go for weeping sores, dermal calcification, blah, blah, blah. All we're doing at this point, technically, is just giving ourselves a tiny bit more score by having a more complex disease. I did not notice that we had a lab set up in Japan. We'll just go ahead and move over there real quick. We also do see one in Italy. I'll teleport down there, deal with them, attack this. And is that pretty much it? Italy, Japan, Canada, and the USA. Well, Japan will be finished very soon. Let's go ahead and teleport over to Central America, up into Canada, move you over to Central America, move you up into the USA, destroy that last lab before they can make any more progress. And is there anything else to do here? I mean, lair healing, you can't even do a genetic reshuffle, like it doesn't even matter. Uphill ice skating, there's a lot of combos in this scenario as well, but they don't really matter. Like, what are you going to do with some combos? The answer is absolutely nothing. We've now infected everyone in the world, and that's it. We win. It was as easy as pie, and we are going to get 5 stars with over 300,000 score. Technically speaking, I could have done a lot less, right? You could just go for like 400 or 300 DNA and be more intentional, but I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound, and the longer you sit there and get more DNA, the more score you're going to get, because you can generate score faster than you lose it for taking too long in this scenario. Yeah, it's just way too easy, and it feels very exploity, and I kind of feel bad about it, because this was a really cool disease added into the game, and I kind of broke it, and then everyone started copying my strategy, and that's the point of it. I'm okay with them doing that, but it made a really cool scenario that the developers worked hard on very trivial. So in a lot of ways, I kind of feel bad about it, but at the same time, I feel very smart, and if I'm going to show you how to beat this consistently and easily on Mega Brutal, I'd be remiss not to do that. So there we go. And that's it. We have officially finished every disease type in Plague Inc. on Mega Brutal difficulty, and hopefully you will find that this series has been very helpful for those of you who are aspiring to finish it off at the maximum difficulty. I've also had a lot of people ask if I'm going to revamp the Cure Mode series. I don't really see much of a reason to. That was recent enough, and I think the videos are a high enough quality that I'm quite happy with them. The demographics change hasn't changed the strategy all that much. The only reason I did these is because these videos were extremely dated. But now that you do have a new series, I feel pretty good about it. For those who are interested, by the way, I do have a series of guides on all of the official scenarios in the game on Mega Brutal difficulty as well. I haven't done Greenland International. I still need to do that, but it's the same game, but easier. And Plague Legacy is new. This is just using 2012 demographics instead of 2025. Which is stuff you've already seen, so that's also not new. So we're going to end things here, at least for the time being, until a new disease has been added into the game. Stay tuned, though, because very soon I will start releasing a bunch of After Inc. revival guides once the game has officially released in just a couple of days. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this series. If so, I would ask you hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.